Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com. Back in the early 2000s, I guess you could say a legend was born, the Marathon Search and Rescue Watch. Nowadays, we call it the GSAR, the TSAR, the Government Search and Rescue, the Tactical Search and Rescue being the automatic, and the quartz version with the tritium tubes, etc. But back in the early 2000s, it all began with the original SAR. So Marathon has decided to dig into the past and resurrect the original Search and Rescue Watch. So today, we're here to check out the OSAR with date. It's a pretty nifty model. New model, kind of a vintagey vibe. I think you're going to enjoy it. We'll see. For my own wrist check today, on one wrist, I'm sporting the Islander green port with the black dial. And on the other, well, come on, you knew it was coming. It's still the Seiko European limited edition Prospex. Still in the honeymoon phase. But let's check out the Marathon, and I definitely want to show you something that you can only get from me, so I want you to see it. So I figured we'd start with the current Search and Rescue Watch, the GSAR, the Government Search and Rescue. This is the model that you know and love. Oh, maybe you don't love it, but you certainly know it. Model number is WW194006. And this model was introduced in the mid-2000s, and it's the one with the tritium markers. It's a 41 millimeter case. It's got those cool syringe hands, and it's powered by what they call an M2 movement. It's a Sellita SW200. This one happens to be mounted on an Islander. This is a commercial, an Islander bracelet. I'll leave a link to it. I don't know, maybe over here in the corner. And it is, it is a ratcheting. See that toolless ratcheting bracelet? It is awesome. It is quite affordable at just over, I want to say about $100 or so, and far cheaper than Marathon's bracelet. I love Marathon, but their bracelets are crazy expensive, like, you know, $250, $260, $300 sometimes. Insane. Sorry for the break-in. This is Editing Mark. Real quick, I forgot to tell you the most important part. If you buy any Marathon GSAR, TSAR, or OSAR watch that takes the Islander bracelet, you can put the bracelet in your cart when you purchase the watch. There's a little drop down. It says, do you want an extra bracelet? The bracelet will be free. So if you buy the watch, I'm going to give you my bracelet for free. Limited time offer? I'm not sure. We'll see how you people react. But anyway, right now, that bracelet is free. Back to Mark. Commercial over. We are here to look at the, what they're calling the OSAR, not the Ozarks, the OSAR, O-S-A-R, Original Search and Rescue -D. D is date. So I have two to show you. I have it on a bracelet, on the Marathon bracelet, if you like that kind of branded thing, and I also have it on the rubber strap. I don't know which one I picked up first. Look at that. I picked up the one on the bracelet. Again, Marathon's bracelets are fine, size with screws. It's got a decent clasp. Obviously branded. I just think it's kind of expensive. Again, here's my negative H-link bracelet for far less. My bracelet will fit the OSAR, the GSAR, the TSAR, all of them. So this is your OSAR. It remains fairly true to the original, I would say, and definitely I'll have some photographs for you to examine. It is, from a form, fit, and function comparison to the current tritium-based model, it is exactly the same. The case is the same, the movement's the same. What we've changed is the dial, the crystal, and the hand. So it's basically almost think of it as like an alternate or a new colorway. But because it lacks tritium, it is a little bit less expensive. Okay, so let's get into it. So it's powered by, again, the Marathon M2 movement, which is basically a Sellita SW200. It is a 41 millimeter case. It is 14 thick to that flat sapphire crystal. I have a little, I pulled my glove. That stinks. No inner AR. They do not believe in it. 48 millimeters on that old lug tip to lug tip. Lug holes for easy peasy strap changes. Screw down case back. Solid, etched with a bunch of Marathon stuff on it. 20 millimeter lug. I have it on the bracelet, and again, I will show it to you on the rubber in a minute. Water resistance is 300 meters. Beautiful screw down crown, really nice and easy to grab. The knurling on this is absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. On the bracelet, it's going to weigh 175 grams. On the rubber strap, quite a bit lighter, 116 grams. Price, $15.12 on the bracelet, $12.42 on the rubber. Prices are always subject to change, as videos are forever. Pricing is temporary. So this is basically a recreation of the model that came out originally in the early 2000s. So what's the main difference? Let's bring them up side by side for you. Is, well, the dial, but tritium hands, markers, everything. This is all Maraglo. Maraglo is basically Marathon's Superluminova, Luma Bright, whatever you want to call it. And they've added a cyclops date at 3, which again, true to the original. The GSAR itself has a date tucked between the 4 and the 5. Sorry about the glare from the camera. Still maintains that 120 click unidirectional ratcheting bezel. A little bit of a precursor. I am developing my own bezels for these as well, so you can change up the look of them. But beautiful bezel, beautiful case finishing. That brushing is so nice all over the case. Really sweet. So the lume is going to be, it's Maraglo, and that is passive luminescence or photoluminescence. So what's going to happen is you're going to light it up with a light, or in the sunlight, you'll come in the dark and you'll see it glow. It will totally blow away the intensity of tritium for easily the first couple of minutes, but then as Maraglo or any other passive illumination ebbs, the tritium will take effect and be much brighter. So that's the stainless steel one. Why don't we just quickly, if I can open the case, there it is. Check out the one on the rubber strap. And to say it's just a rubber strap is, you have to kind of qualify that statement. Their rubber straps are insanely expensive as well, but they're really well made. They actually include for you an extra tail, or the top of it, that's longer. So come on, camera. Woo. So that you can actually see how much longer it is. You just move the buckle over, and now you have a longer strap. It is a beautiful strap. It's very well made. The inside is, the underside is nicely done. It sticks off your wrist to allow sweat and everything to wick away. It is branded, and it doesn't really smell. No vanilla, not much of an odor. At least now we can kind of see the case back. So there you can see, true to form, they have an NSN number, their cage code. That means they are a commercial and government entity. Control numbers, serial number of this particular watch, and then normally, like on the GSAR, which I won't show you the GSAR again, there's a whole bunch of stuff about tritium. We don't have that here. So this one's not running, so let's get it to run. And the bezel's not centered either. I apologize. I will center it. So this, again, will be the passive luminescence. So why don't we why don't we come up on the dial really close? And then I'll do a little bit of a lume so you can see what it looks like. But you see what I mean about, it maintains that vintage appeal, these large, oversized markers, which make it super duper easy to, to delineate the dial. And then the lume, I'm going to call it like a C3 tinge. It almost looks like it doesn't have an additive, so it's like pure C3. So it gives that vintagey kind of vibey appearance a little bit. It's not brown or orange, it's definitely green, but it definitely gives it that vibe. So let's light it up with the UV and see what it looks like. So maybe this will be a little bit interesting. So I have a UV light in my hand. This is the GSAR tritium on the left, and this is the OSAR with the Maraglo on the right. And you see that, so the tritium, you can barely make it out. You can see that it's got a Maraglo pip at 12. But like I said, it's very tough. It's not a fair comparison because I have to adjust the camera sensitivity. But once Maraglo starts to dim out, the tritium will easily take over and surpass it in luminosity. So don't let that be a judge. You don't get that wow factor with tritium, but you get that wow factor at like 2 or 3 in the morning. And if your dresser has like 4 marathons on it, like mine sometimes does, it is very impressive, but easy peasy to tell the time. So I try to say this whenever I can. If you're in the market for a marathon and you're torn between the 41 and the 36, get the 41. The 36 is the most returned watch for fitment, I would say, out of almost anything I sell. the 41 is not the true. It's a 41, yeah, but as you guys know, it's not just the 41. It's everything. It's the composition of the case. It's the lug to lug. It's how it stands off your wrist. It's just so many things come into consideration. This is a beautiful, beautiful watch. Really looks nice. So as I said, 41 millimeter fits my wrist absolutely perfectly. And you know what's awesome about this? So the rubber strap, look where I am on it. Normally, I would not be this far near the bottom end of a strap, but because they include a shorter tail and a longer tail, just so much better, so much more of a fit that you can dial it in. See if the strap barely comes up the other side of the watch. So really nice. So if you have a larger wrist, they include that other piece for you. So I think that's going to wrap it up. I'm going to just leave you with an image here of all three. Again, this is the newer, it's like 18 or 17 years at this time, GSAR, and then these are the new old OSARs, if you will. Just kind of give them a little comparison. Definitely a much cleaner dial. This is much busier. This has its place, but this is super awesome. This has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com showing you the new OSAR from Marathon. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Questions, comments, anything else you want to say, you can put it down below and I'll be sure to address it as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.